What is up, guys? It's your boy Crystal Planet 99 here, and I'm very excited to review the globe-trotting Vi album, Alive in an Ultra World. Not only was each song recorded live, but each song was written for each country that the Vi band toured in. All these songs were supposedly written during the sound checks that happened hours earlier, which is just impressive, especially the ones that have vocals in them. And like I always say, this is just my opinion, and if you don't agree with it, that's completely fine. I like to keep these reviews civil and honest and down to earth. But without further ado, let's get started on this one. Giant Balls of Gold. Giant Balls of Gold is the track for Poland. Frankly, I don't think of Poland when I hear this song, which there's absolutely nothing wrong with, I just wanted to point it out. But I really like the song's opening with heavy guitars and loud drums. This opening, is repeated throughout the song, and Vi plays over it with Evo. There is a real nice, thick, powerful tone in this track that will definitely get your head moving throughout. But I also like the solo because it just rocks. Overall, this is a very solid opening track, and it's still hard to believe that this was only written matters of hours before it was eventually recorded live. Burning Rain. This is the track that Vi wrote when he was in Japan with his band, and it sounds exactly like it would be written in Japan too. This track moves at a breakneck pace in the beginning, with lots of synth and retro effects, and it really slows down a little bit after the first opening, and then speeds back up at other times. This song really makes me think of any anime soundtrack that I've ever heard. Seriously, you could easily put this song in any anime and it would probably fit perfectly. It also reminds me of the scenes in Kill Bill that were set in Japan because their music featured was a lot like this. Another place this song would definitely fit is on Joe Satriani's Surfing with the Alien, right next to tracks like Crushing Day and Surfing with the Alien and Lords of Karma because of all the synth in this song. Overall, I definitely think this track is a winner. I applaud for Vi when he's really grasping these foreign styles like this, and I love this whole album just because of this. He really just gets it. The Black Forest. The Black Forest is the track for when Vi and crew were in Germany. This song just really rocks. Vi uses loads of flange effect for the main rhythm parts that ends the song and kind of begins the song. I love the experimental nature of this track. So far, it's one of the more experimental songs on the album. This song surprised me on the first time listen. I expected more of a march sounding song, but instead, the song has a very ominous, almost uneasiness to it. It's definitely different, which I like a lot. At about 2 minutes and 54 seconds, Vi plays this solo that starts pretty normal, but then at 3 minutes 28 seconds, it becomes a whole nother solo entirely, with what sounds like a reverse delay being added. It's real erotic nightmares type stuff. Of course, after the solo, the song switches back to that main rhythm I talked about earlier, but then ends on a great high note. I definitely think this is very cool and different. Alive in an Ultra World. The title track for this album was the song that Vi and crew played for Slovenia. This song is interesting. Me personally, just like Poland, have never really heard much Slovenian music, so it's really hard to judge the song on that merit. But obviously, that doesn't break or make the song itself. I just wanted to point that out. This is the first vocal track on the album. The lyrics are okay, but they are obviously weaker for the fact that Vi didn't have any time to really meticulously write them like he normally does, so I can forgive it. Vi really makes Evo sound like a Strat on this one. His guitar tone really takes on a Hendrix-esque tone, which is just great because you know how I feel about Hendrix. When Vi takes his solos, he also uses lots of wah, like Hendrix did. Overall, I think this song, especially the chorus sections, are very catchy, but I will say that the verses suffer from a little bit more weak lyrics, but that's come to be expected. I mean, shit, he wrote it in an afternoon. Overall, it's a very good title track. It's not Vi's best title track, but it's very good. Devil's Food. This is technically not a new song at all. Hell, it's probably not even really a song. It was just something that was recorded in Holland, but really, it's a live version of the Fire Garden track Angel Food. Vi is playing on his acoustic guitar in this track live, but then breaks a string. So while his guitar tech Thomas Nordig replaces the string, Vi converses with his audience and shows off each of his band members like Mike Keneally, Mike Mangini, and Phil Bino. If you're a fan of hearing Vi talk, then you will definitely have a blast listening to this one. I know I love hearing him talk, but I think that if you're really looking for a new song, you're going to be disappointed here. Blood and Glory. This track was written for when Vi and company were in the UK, and just like how Burning Rain was without a doubt perfect for Japan, this track is without a doubt perfect for the UK. Vi and Mike Keneally on guitar with Mike Mangini on drums just sound like a blaring orchestra. After the solo, at 3 minutes and 24 seconds, Vi and Mike Keneally play the same verse part from earlier, but with the octave notes to really layer the piece, like a horn section in a full orchestra. I really love this song. It gets me so hyped when I hear the incredible solo, and also the guitar part has almost a Brian May-esque tone to it, and could easily be a tribute to that type of guitar tone from Britain. The only thing better to me than the regular song is the version that Vi did live at the Astoria in London in 2001. That was so good. It just had Billy Sheehan and Vi, and it was incredible. Whispering a Prayer. Supposedly, this song was written for Ireland, and I mean, I guess if you picture Vi's guitar part being played with bagpipes like a eulogy, then I can kind of hear it. But when I think of Vi playing Irish music, I obviously think of Lucky Charms, but that's neither here nor there. Frankly, this song is just beautiful, and it could easily put me to sleep by it. Also, unless you have a sustainer pickup in your guitar, you will never be able to play this song perfectly. It is just a fact. This is one of the first Vi songs that I'd ever heard, and it really takes me back when I listen to it, even today. My favorite version of this song is the Stillness in Motion live in LA version with the harp player and Vi's band. The song really is just beautiful. There is no doubt at all with it. I always picture this song, I know this is going a little off topic, but I like to picture this song as a little boy growing up, and while he kind of struggles in the beginning to do whatever, throughout the song he kind of overcomes those challenges and is flying high. I just think of it that way. Comment to me whatever you guys think about Whispering a Prayer, but I think that Whispering a Prayer is just one of those perfect songs that Vi's released that I think Vi will be playing for years. I mean, he still plays it today. So, anyway, though, comment down below what you guys think of Whispering a Prayer. Iberian Jewel. Iberian Jewel begins with a bang. Mike Mangini lays down this incredible drum beat that gets the whole audience chanting, and then at 43 seconds you hear the Spanish influence come in, which is no coincidence because this is the song for when Vi and company were in Spain. I love the Spanish acoustic guitar parts in the beginning, and then being answered by some real fat electric guitar chords. It really has a lot of Santana meets Vi during the main parts of this track. At 1 minute and 30 seconds, Vi plays a shred lick that is answered by some air pipe sounding instrument. It could be Mike Keneally on synth, but it sounds cool either way. At 1 minute and 53 seconds, we get a real nice Vi solo with tons of wah. It almost sounds like the solo off of a track called Valorum off of the Story of Light album. This final solo takes the rest of the track, and it really does end on a high note. But if anybody knows what that instrument is that is used, that whole air pipe thing, please comment down below, because I would love to know what it is. The Power of Bambos. This is the track written for when Vi and company were in Greece. However, most of the song is Mike Mangini drumming intensely, only quieting for when Vi has to talk and play some little lead parts. I love how into it the audience gets. They clap, they cheer, and they get wild with Vi. This song is cool, especially at 1 minute and 30 seconds when Vi adds some pitch shift to his lead parts. But my biggest issue is that there really isn't much of a song here. It's mostly just Vi talking and soloing over Mike Mangini. It definitely sounds cool and is flashy as hell, but it all kind of feels wide as an ocean but deep as a puddle, in my opinion. Only until the last 30 seconds does this song pick up, but by that time it is already too little, too late. Incantation. This song starts with what will become the main line of this track. While it's a nice riff, the repetition of it for 1 minute and 25 seconds makes it kind of lose something. Out of nowhere, however, at a minute and 25 seconds, Mangini begins this huge drum part, and where the tempo speeds up and Vai and his stunt guitarist just go crazy. It sounds a lot like Real Illusion's Freak Show Excess, a song that Vai said was inspired by the music of Bulgaria. It's no coincidence, however, then, that this song, Incantation, was the track written for when Vai and company were in, you guessed it, Bulgaria. I bet I just blew your mind. At 5 minutes and 6 seconds, Mike Mangini starts this drum solo that sounds so complex and dynamic, and then at 5 minutes and 44 seconds, a weird sounding string instrument is introduced. I don't know what it is, and if anyone else does, please comment down below. The track stays the same up until about the final minute, which just uses that same opening riff that I talked about, which I will admit, with the audience included, it does sound really badass. But the coolest thing about this track is that Vai just cannot stop. He's amazing. He keeps going. He sounds like he has 8 arms in this track. It's incredible. It really is. This track deserves to be heard. If you like Freak Show Excess, if you like Bulgarian music for, some weird specific reason, then you will love this track. No other way. Light of the Moon. This is not only the best vocal track on this album, but it's also a track that me and my girlfriend experienced for the first time together, and we were both hooked on it. Supposedly this is the track for when the Vai band was in Australia. I don't really think there is an Australian cultural sound when it comes to Australian writers and their music, but that's fine, because the track is great. Not only for how it's composed, but also because it is very simply so positive. I always smile when this song comes on in my Vai playlist. Once you listen to it, you will know exactly what I mean. The song almost sounds like something written by Phil Collins or Peter Gabriel, who in my opinion are very, very great writers. Overall, this is up there with Whispering a Prayer. I just love the way this track makes me feel, which to me is truly important when it comes to listening to music. I want to feel good. I want to feel something. I don't want to just be amazed with all this flashy stuff. There has to be some weight behind it, and I will say that this song does deliver. Babushka. This song is very special to me for many reasons. Not only is it the song for Romania, which is my nationality, but it's also very Romanian sounding. This song stacks up perfectly compared to all the authentic Romanian music that I've heard at the various Romanian festivals that I've attended. It's all there. The violins, the accordions, the Ibanez gems, maybe not. At 4 minutes and 15 seconds, this track goes into high gear and the audience really sounds into it. I love that Vai really studied up for this one to really bring a track that sounds so much like the country being referenced. And honestly, he could have sold the whole album to me just on this song alone. I was blown away the first time I heard it. It sounded like I was back at one of those Romanian festivals. It sounds like he went to every Romanian festival that I've ever been to, recorded it with some 8-track player, and basically learned all of them, and then wrote something himself. It is impressive, for sure. Being with You in Paris. The country for this one should be very obvious. To really sell this track, Vai brings out an accordion player to really reel it in. Up until that part where the accordion comes in, it sounds very Christmassy to me. Vai does lots of soloing up until 2 minutes and 43 seconds when the accordion takes the stage, and it sounds just like what I'd expect from French music. The Frenchman speaking in French over Mike Keneally's very relaxing piano is also a nice touch. Overall, I love this track because I've always been fascinated in the French culture and their music. Overall, this song sounds just as good as you'd think, maybe even better, it depends. Principessa. This song channels more of a classical spirit. The reason is because Vai and company were in Italy, home of the great classical composers like Paganini and Vivaldi. This song is just impressive. Vai does so many fast runs and sweeping arpeggios that it's astonishing. It's Yngwie Malmsteen levels of fast. The song also has an orchestral feel to it, which just adds to the classical influence. Everything really clicks on this one. I can really hear Vai flexing his muscles on this one, and I don't blame him one bit. It's probably very hard stuff to do. Overall, this song works. I just don't know how the Vi band can keep up so well. They're all just stellar. Brando's Costumes, aka Gentle Ways. The final track on Alive in an Ultra World was written for the country of Portugal. Just like Slovenia, I don't really know what Portugal's music sounds like, but I might need to learn because I really like this song. This song is very stripped. It's all drums, piano, and Vi, on an acoustic guitar also. At 1 minute and 40 seconds, Vi does one of his best sounding acoustic guitar solos ever. The track is like a fine wine, it just gets better as it ages. With each second, Vi amazes me with his incredible technique holding up the song. The only thing better is the live version on Sound Theories, when Vi plays this song with an entire orchestra backing him. There's not much more that I can praise. I'd rather just tell you that you definitely need this album, or at least this song, in your collection. If you love Vi, or if you love instrumental music, or even if you love world music, this album is a must. Alright guys, there it is, Alive in an Ultra World. Sorry this video was a little bit longer than usual, and I'm also sorry about my last video when I said that we'd be reviewing Real Illusions this week. We'll be reviewing Real Illusions next week, I promise. But anyway guys, if you really like this review, do not be scared. Like it, comment, subscribe, and have a good day.